Hey everyone, no respawns here. Hope you're having a grand day. So this is Enshrouded, a game I've been quite excited for, and it dropped like 2 days ago, and I finally got a chance to kind of sit down and play it. So naturally, I had to play around with the building function and see what I can make at the start of the game. I always like doing this when a game drops that has crafting. I like to go, right, all of the starting items, what can I make? What kind of cool player home can you effectively start in the first few hours of the game with? I'm actually on basically the opening plateau, and this is area where you actually have to build, and I've built a house. So this is all vanilla stuff. I haven't actually left, so once I've finished recording this video, I'm gonna, bugger off and actually play the game. So I'm really pleased with how this turned out. It's a really, really cool building function in this game. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Minecraft. It's got Minecraft-esque qualities to it, in the fact is that you have kind of, fixed structural elements, but a lot of the time you can just build with the little cubes, which is kind of quite refreshing. There are some criticisms. It is a bit difficult to build vertically. Fun fact, there is scaffolding in this game, and I haven't used it once because I didn't actually notice it until I just finished making this house. As in, I was kind of going, I might add a few little bits of these, knobbly bits at the sides to add a bit of texture, and then I scrolled up and I was like, oh, scaffolding. That would have saved me from having to build stairs everywhere. However, it wasn't too bad. Very similar to, if you played Valheim, basically, it's got a similar building function to that, where you're going to have to jump a lot and build things around the houses. But you can make some pretty cool little stuff. Now, I said, I haven't played beyond this, so I don't know what other building elements you have. Currently, I have wood and stone. For what I gather, you do unlock stuff as you pick up new building materials. For example, there is flint stuff, or flint blight stuff you can pick up, which I can build with, but I haven't because it's quite fairly rare, at least at this point in the game. Rare enough that I can't be asked to go and hunt it down. And to be honest, I wanted to just use stone and wood. I had so much fun. I was tempted to build a moat around it. Because what you can do is you can build these foundations and then remove them, and it kind of leaves a giant hole in the ground, and I was tempted to do that. I might still do that, but I'll probably do that after this video. I had so much fun. Trying. So let me show you inside. So one thing I will say is, because I'm in the start of the game, I don't have much in the way of decorations. However, I do get the impression there are actually going to be quite a few, because there's an entire decoration tab. Already I was able to build quite a lot of bowls, tankards, and there's loads of different lighting options. I've only got about, I think, 4 in use, so the several different kinds of torches, candles, and these little firefly lanterns. There's also skull lanterns you can get as well. I've kind of built these rooms with the idea of their future use, like there's going to be a little bit of crafting area in here, I think. Even though I don't technically need it, I wanted to have a kitchen hearth area, kind of inspired a little bit by Valheim with the idea of, your kind of ostensibly fireproof hearth. I like the idea, so I wanted to build a chimney. This is my upstairs. Yeah, as you can see, it is pretty open right now, but there's lots of space for me to add decorations, which I'm quite excited to do. You already have 2 different kinds of beds. So the first one you get is a bit more of a basic mattress, and then you unlock this kind of quite cozy looking single bed. And this is going to be my desk. And I've got a little outside area. There's got this bit as well, where we vibe. The game is absolutely breathtaking, by the way. So to give you how early I am in the game, I believe that's where you start, and then you just go down that hill. And you come out here. As in, if you ran, you could be here in like 3 minutes. This is the spot where you're meant to build your first base. So I was like, right, well, that's where all of you are going to do it. So this is what you can build while you're here. So yeah, hope this gives you kind of a few ideas. Let me show you the build menu. You can do a lot with this. I think with a kind of building function like this, because there's not many kind of prefab or any real prefab pieces, and it's almost like Lego. People can get a little bit overwhelmed because you're like, oh, okay, what do I do? To the point where my first house, I was gonna do a starting house, and it ended up being like, a block house, and I was like, no, David, put some effort into it, mate. So one thing I've done, as you can see, let me show you, let me stop hiding the HUD. I do appreciate the fact they have a hide HUD button. That's just absolutely glorious. Right, so if you, I am using, so this is on PC, I am actually using an Xbox controller because I like doing it. So in terms of stuff you can build with, you've got all of these little bits. So you've got these fixed pieces that, you'll recognize from other games. But then what I can actually do is build with individual blocks, which I really, really, really like, because it means that I can kind of put little bits around. I can, for example, you know, I don't know, if I wanted to, because I like adding kind of like knobbly bits, which is the technical phrase to structures. So say, for example, yeah, if I wanted to kind of make these pop a little bit more so they stood out. And I can do anything I want, really. Any kind of, like, structure shape. For example, like, you see at the top there, where I've added kind of almost figureheads to each side of the house to just kind of give them a little bit more depth. I can do that. And it's just quite... I like the granularity of it. One thing this does differently compared to something like Valheim, for example, is it's not as ruthless, is the way I describe it. So, for example, as far as I can tell, I can actually just have structures floating in the air and nothing really falls down, which is really, really helpful, because Valheim could be a little bit brutal. There we go. Maybe let's make these pop out a little bit like that. So they're more like this kind of 3D bits. Lovely. Look at that. Oh. We do like 3D bits. I like doing this. Back in the day when I used to play Minecraft, this is kind of what all my structures look like, basically. Was kind of make them pop with overtly ostentatious details that don't really fulfill any function other than just decorative. Yeah, so just for the people who are lost and confused, because you may notice I said there were scaffolding. It's not in this menu, because it's not in this menu. It's actually in the workbench. Let me show you. Because many of you do exactly what I did, which is scrolled up here and was like, oh, scaffolds. So yeah, it's there. There's the scaffolds. And I think I've actually never built one. That's the first time I've ever built a scaffold. Let's see what scaffold A looks like, shall we? Where's the menu? I always forget where it is. There we go, scaffold A. That would have been so helpful. Ah, that would have been so helpful. God damn it. That would have made my life... God damn it. And you can pick things up and take them down quite easily. So yeah, hope this gives you a few ideas. I highly, highly, highly recommend you play around with especially trying to add texture to your structures, because you can make even a really kind of like what is ostensibly quite a blocky house just look detailed and just a little bit more lifelike. I'm going to actually do this little thing I've done with these because I think that's a really cool idea and just kind of gives them a little bit more depth purely through just adding a bit more structure, or as again I like to call them knobbly bits. I will be making more videos on Enshrouded. It's looking like it might be one of my games of the year. I know it's only January, but I'm just so impressed with just how everything's put together. Every single, just going down through like menu choices and how the game is structured is just so cool. And plus it works really, really well. You can kind of tweak all of the visual options really easily. So I haven't even got this maxed out. So if you have a much more powerful PC than mine, it's going to look absolutely breathtaking. Anywho, I love you all and you enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll speak to you lovely bunch soon. Take care.